Hello, my name is Beatrice and I'm a hobby photographer. So I'm actually doing landscape photography. This is what I like most. I'm kind of trying to let you know on how I achieve things, because a lot of people were asking if I could do a training for photographers, and I would if I would have the time, but right now I'm traveling quite a bit. Myself, I studied IT and economics, and I actually gotten into photography because of my dad, so he's a pro photographer. Um, I started photography because of three reasons. One reason I just mentioned, that's my dad used to be a pro photographer. Second reason, Call of Duty, and third reason, beer. So let me let me let me explain a little bit what I mean when I said first reasons. My dad, um, my dad used to be a pro photographer, as mentioned, and he tried to explain on how photography really works. And uh, sorry, Dad, but I never got it. So I never really took a class. So I got as of a Christmas present. I got my first camera when I was like 9 years old, and I kind of used it in P mode, and didn't really know what things are really meaning. It's like, to me, I right now I use the camera by far different than I used it before. Like, um, my dad used to explain me what the ISO versus shutter speed versus f-stop mean, and I never got that. So I just like I said, I put it in P mode and started taking pictures. And when the digital age was made available to me, I started getting back into this, and uh, you know, it's kind of HDR becomes available, Photoshop becomes available, um, Lightroom becomes available. So those are different kind of scenarios you can build, the different kind of pictures you can make. And so one of the first reasons, for sure, my dad is responsible for me um, being here, sitting here, making those pictures, because he taught me the very basic things, which about the picturing itself. It's not only f-stop and ISOs and shutter speed. To him, there was also the location and the way you take this picture when you're at the location. And yeah. Second reason, Call of Duty. So I did a little bit of photography work when I was younger, and I've gotten out of this. So I kind of retired my camera, let's put it that way. And I'm a big fan of Call of Duty, and I miserably lost. And this was the reason when I or this is when I decided grabbing the camera, grabbing the tripod, and going off to a location here in Switzerland, like the Garden of Roses, Rosengarten. And there you have a beautiful view. You're elevated from Bern, and you have a beautiful view into Bern. And this is when I started, like 3.5 years ago, and kind of like that. Kind of don't when I look back. So there's a lot of things, a lot of learning within between this point and right now. You know, if you see my Flickr account or any other account, like I'm on Facebook too, and I'm running a lot of different kind of online medias, you get to see how you increase the quality of your pictures, or my pictures, and my thing. It's kind of I started where I was. I started what I knew, and I started to do things differently. like I started to, move the ISO, move the shutter, and move the f-stop. So and then you get into this, and the pictures, in my opinion, they kind of gotten better by its quality, but it's my opinion. So that was the second reason for me, is because I lost miserably in Call of Duty. I started my photography work. Third reason, beer. Many people of me, they know I like beer. My birthday, everybody keeps bringing beer, and I kind of, yeah, it's kind of like that. So I kind of like beer, really. And the thing is, I get to travel pretty much for business. I like traveling a lot, and instead of hanging in the bar and having beer, I thought to myself, why don't I, get my camera, move around, and try to picture all the beautiful locations I'm at, like Budapest, like Prague, like Paris, like the United States, New York, San Francisco. I'm about to go to Dubai, and I was in Sweden last week. I mean, getting home and having nothing is kind of sad. So those are my 3 reasons for starting photography. My dad used to be a pro photographer. Call of Duty, lost miserably, and beer. Reducing beer. Well, that's not kind of true, because afterwards I still go to bars. But anyway, those are my kind of 3 points, and I figured over the years now, I figured that you have to have other 3 reasons, or not 3 reasons, but 3 things on having a good shot, a good picture. First, you need the location. Second, you need the camera. And third, post-processing. This is, I think, where everything starts. Let me start with location. The location itself is determined. Where I go, where I get sent, I want to take a few pictures. Sometimes I'm able to choose my own locations. Like my vacation, I'm gonna get over to San Francisco pretty often, because I used to work there and I have my friends there, and it's a beautiful city. The food is upscale, and everything there is kind of cool. I like that a lot. And anyway, but even there, I mean, I get into planning, whatever planning means. I'm not really good at that. So, hello, Ron. My planning for the location is, before I get there, I use Google Maps, and I use the photos. I use Flickr, I use 500px, wherever people upload pictures, I get into and try to find out where they take this picture from, or what's famous. I mean, I don't really know what's famous and what to be pictured, and sometimes it turns out that this doesn't really work the way I wanted to make it work, because I've recently been to Crete, which is an island in Greece, and I wanted to go and see one of those shipwrecks, and couldn't do it because I had to walk for another 2 hours, and that was too late because it was kind of getting too dark, so the ship wouldn't have been visible. Anyway, so one of the things is location. Like, say, you're gonna get there, you're gonna plan a photo taking there. Now, the second thing is the camera. In order to have a picture, you need to have a camera, and the camera itself, I have an Nikon, and there are tons of cameras out there. So I think whenever you're going to take a picture, it doesn't matter what camera you take. It's kind of a personal touch you're going to give to pictures. Like if you're going to get an iPhone, if you have a Samsung phone, any kind of cell phone, this counts to me because you're standing there, you're taking that picture. This picture kind of tells a story. Right said, I have a Nikon, and they're like other brands out there, like Sony, Canon. To me, why I picked Nikon is it's very easy. To me, it's because of my dad again. My dad is a pro photographer and has Nikon, so I can use his tools. Whenever I use a flash, when I attend at a wedding ceremony, I can use his flashes. I can use his gear, his things. I don't have to buy the whole 9 yards. Of course, you have to have a body and some lenses. For sure, that's not a discussion, but there are advantages having an Nikon. There's also advantages having a Canon. There's also advantages having a Sony. So, but you have to have a camera in order to picture the location where you were. Now, the third thing, in my opinion, the most fun part, post-processing. So once you have taken the picture or taken the pictures, you have to get back. You got to go home and you got to post-process those images. And I mean, getting to the location sometimes takes you a flight, which is 9 hours. You got to find the location, another 4 hours, and you got to take the shot. It's a 2/1000th of a second, or 200th of a second, or 125th of a second. So this is relatively small, what you spent on getting there. Once you come home, you want to post-process the images, and this is, in my opinion, where you give your images a different kind of look. Not a different kind of look, it's a unique kind of look. I have my process, the way I follow what I do, might be by far different than what you do. I can give you the hints, or I can show you how I do it, but please don't copy me in the post-processing event, because my images are supposed to be unique. And in this tutorial, in the upcoming tutorials, it's not supposed to be about me, it's supposed to be about you. I can give you the techniques. I mean, we're digital age. We have computers, we have tablets, we have cell phones, we have everything. And we have different kind of technologies there too. So my computer, I have a PC, and I start with Lightroom, Adobe. It's an Adobe product, and it's kind of a circle to me. I start there and it ends there. So I start there doing HDR sometimes, which is a high density range. So you get three and above, 3 shots, and I only take 3, and I usually get one overexposed, one underexposed, and one which is normal. But anyway, I need that, so you somehow have to combine those 3 pictures into one. So therefore, I have another software which is called Photomatix, and I use Photoshop sometimes. I don't know Photoshop that good, so I'm going to stick with Photomatix and Lightroom. But like I said, sometimes you have to have it, because if you want to combine pictures, then you can't do that out of Lightroom. And this is, to me, this is where all the fun starts. Start playing around with those tools and start combining, and maybe this is getting a little bit sentimental at this point, but I think photography works. Photography, as I do it, it's not a pro thing. It's like a hobby. There's no any better way how I can find myself, because A, every picture looks different, and B, the picture looks the way I feel. This is how I do it. Yeah, so we have those three things. Like you need a location, you need to have a camera, and you need to do post processing. And I will circle around a little bit about the location itself. You're gonna see me doing shots all over the world, trying to get my GoPro here and picture or actually make movies out of it. Then a camera. I will come back in later tutorials and show you how I set up my camera, because I was pretty, the beginning of this tutorial or this video, I was telling you that I put my camera into P mode, and P mode is everything, the camera does everything automatically. I don't like that anymore, so I'm gonna tell you how I set up my camera, and those settings, they can be duplicated by every other camera as well. So it's like it doesn't matter if it's a Sony or if it's a Nikon or Canon, you can duplicate it. It's easy, it's fairly simple. Even I think even with an iPhone or any other cell phone out there, you can do not those settings, but more or less the same things I do when it comes to taking pictures. Going to try to show you this on a Nikon and a Canon and a Sony. I can't guarantee, I can't promise, but I'm trying to do that. So far for the camera, and then for the post-processing. There are many things, many topics I could talk about. So it's for sure starts with Lightroom, and I for sure wanna do a class, virtual class of photomatics, and there's many other things out there like Photoshop that I would like to do too, and I would also like to give you an overview on the tools I use, like a computer and its monitor, and like the screen itself. So calibration of the screen pretty much matters. If you're going to go out there and take some pictures and you have a non-calibrated screen, this ruins your picture because you don't know what you're doing, because all the settings you do may look good on screen but may not look good when you print it. So I'm going to talk about those things. I'm going to talk about technology. Technology evolves, and I try to use that technology that is out there in order to make different kind of pictures. Like I said, so those pictures are unique, so that's what I do, and the upcoming videos should help you to find yourself, to find your kind of style, your personal kind of style, how you want to post-process your pictures, why you want to do specific settings, why not. Those are the kind of things I would like to give you, and I don't think I want to tell you how exactly I took the shot, like shutter speed, ISO, and sorry about that. Shutter speed, ISO, and f-stop. So I don't want to specifically tell you this, and I don't want to specifically tell you on how to exactly post-process your images, because my pictures are so unique, so should be yours. So I want to give you the techniques, I want to give you ideas, so you can develop your own kind of style. My kind of style developed over the past few years. I'm on Flickr. My Flickr account sort of shows a history, and it sort of shows where I started. At the very beginning, I started deleting pictures, which is pretty sad, because you know, once you start doing HDR, um, everybody tends to go a direction which is by far off what you see when you look out there, when you look at the sky, when you look at the ocean, because it's a new technology. And now I still have pictures from Amsterdam on my Flickr account. So go and watch and how I developed over the years, how I increased. To me, it's an increasement. How I increased using technology. How I got into first HDR, and it's the only thing I did. And then Lightroom was made available to me. Would have been earlier, but anyway. So I started first with HDR, and then I used Lightroom, which is supposed to be likewise. So you should use first Lightroom, then HDR. You shouldn't, but this is what I'm telling you right now. To me, the center of the universe is Lightroom. I start there, and like I said, it's a circle. So from there, I'm going to go to HDR. From there, I may go to Photoshop, but I'm going to come back, and the final result is still sticking with Lightroom. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed so far watching what I told you, and there's going to be an upcoming video about the camera settings pretty soon. Alright, and have a good night, and or a good day, or wherever you are. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.